Assalamu alaikum students and welcome to Department of English, Government Postgraduate College, Artak. I am Nasir Ali Shah, Assistant Professor of English. In our previous lecture, we read the second paragraph of this chapter, The Dying Sun. In that paragraph, we are told about the rotation or movement of stars. We read that most of the stars in space travel alone, but a few of them form groups. It means that there are just a few stars that we can see that it looks as if they have made groups because they are a little close to. A little close means even then there is a distance of millions of miles between them. But most of them travel alone. It means that they are at millions of miles of distance or even more from one another. So it is very rare event for one star to come close to another star because of that great distance between them. So the writer concludes in this paragraph that if by chance a star comes close to another star, it would be a very rare event. That's what we have studied so far. And from this paragraph, I had asked you a question which you must have noted down. And the question is, why is it that a star seldom finds another star near it? And the answer is, as the universe is so vast, so it is very rare that a star should come near another star during its journey. Each star makes its journey in complete loneliness. It travels at a distance of millions of miles from another star. This is what we have read so far. Now we come to the next paragraph. In the third paragraph, the writer says, "We believe, however, that some 2000 million years ago, this rare event took place." As we have read earlier, that the writer says that if a star by chance comes close to another star, it would be very rare event. So this rare event took place. Took place means it happened. Take place is the first form, take first form, and the took is the second form. Take place means to happen. For it is used generally for some incident which happens. So this rare event took place means it happened. When it happened? It happened some 2000 million years ago. Very long ago. And what happened? What was that rare event? And that another star wandering blindly through space happened to come near the sun. This was the rare event according to the writer and some other astronomers, according to some scientists and astronomers, that they believe that some 2000 million years ago, a very huge, very large star, which was even bigger than our sun, wandering blindly means uncontrollably, wandering blindly through space, happened to come near the sun. This was the rare event because such events do not happen very often or every after a few years in this universe. Just as the sun and moon raise tides on the earth, so this second star must have raised tides on the surface of the sun. Now students, do you think that the sun and the moon raise tides on the earth? Tides mean waves. Do the sun and the moon create tides or waves on the surface of the sun? Yes, it is true. Moon, when especially it is the night of full moon, due to the attraction of the moon, the waves are created in our oceans, in the oceans of this earth. and there are very big and very huge waves of water which are very high, and it seems as if that there is a storm coming in the ocean. So there is no doubt that the sun and the moon raise tides or waves on the earth. In the same manner, the writer says that, so the second star must have raised tides on the surface of the sun because it was a lot bigger than the sun. Due to due to the attraction of that star, the tides or waves were created on the surface of the sun. Next sentence. But they would be very different from the little tides which the small mass of the moon raises in our oceans. Ocean means seas, which we have already read. But the writer says that there is a difference. The sun and the moon raise tides on the surface of the earth or into the oceans of the earth. There is no doubt these are the waves created by the attraction of the sun and the moon, but they are very little tides. The writer said that, but they would be very different from the little tides. They would means that those tides which were created on the surface of the sun due to the attraction of that another huge star which came close to the sun, they were very different from those little tides which the small moon raises in our oceans. An immense tidal wave must have traveled over the surface of the sun. How those tides were different from these little tides which are created in our oceans? Due to the size. The writer wants to say that those tides which were created on the surface of the sun due to the attraction of that huge star which came close to the sun, they were very huge, very immense tides. Immense means very large, very huge. An immense tidal wave must have traveled over the surface of the sun. It means that due to the attraction of that huge star, some very large, even unimaginable for us, very large and very huge tides must have been created on the surface of the sun. And those tides went on becoming bigger and bigger and higher, at last forming a mountain. The writer says that as that other star was coming close to the sun while traveling or during its rotation, as it kept on coming close to the sun, due to its powerful attraction, huge tides that were created on the surface of the sun, they formed a mountain. They looked just like a huge mountain, and it was so high that we can hardly imagine it, that we cannot even think about that how high that mountain was. As the cause of disturbance came nearer and nearer, next sentence is, as the cause of disturbance, cause mean reason and disturbance mean disturbing something or making deforming something. So here the writer means from the cause of disturbance means that another star, that huge star which came close to the sun and which created disturbance on the surface of the sun. So the cause of disturbance is another huge star which was coming close to the sun. As it came nearer and nearer to the sun, the mountain would rise higher and higher. Why was it so? Because of the powerful attraction of that huge star. As it was coming close to the sun, it was coming nearer to the sun, its power, its attraction was becoming more and more powerful. So this mountain of gaseous matter or the tidal wave, it was becoming higher and higher. And before the second star began to move away again, its tidal pull had become so powerful that this mountain was torn to pieces. As the second star, which was very huge, began to move away again, according to the writer, it did not collide with the sun, rather, it came very close to the sun, and due to its attraction, some waves were created from the surface of the sun, because that another huge star pulled some matter from the surface of the sun towards itself, and when it began to move away again, it went on away. This mountain was torn to pieces. Torn to mean it was broken into pieces and threw off small parts of itself into space. Means due to the attraction or powerful pull of that huge star, some matter was torn from the surface of the sun and it was torn into pieces. These small pieces have been going around the sun ever since. So, from that moment on, from the 2000 million years ago to this day, these small pieces are going around the sun, means they began rotating or they began moving around the sun in the space. They are called planets, great and small. They are of different size, some are big, some are small, great and small, of which our Earth is one. And our Earth is also one of those broken pieces from the surface of the sun, which are called planets. So, students, here in this paragraph we read that how our Earth was created and what are the planets which we know today. The writer has related an imaginary incident, imaginary in a sense that such an event, according to the writer or some of the scientists, they believe that it happened millions of years ago, 2000 million years ago. So, we cannot say with certainty that actually this happened, but this is the belief of the scientists that such an incident happened millions of years ago, and as a result of that incident, some pieces of the sun were broken off from its surface. They began rotating or moving around the sun in the space. Later on, when they cool down, they are known as planets, and our Earth is also one of them. So we can say that our Earth also was, in the past, it was a part of the sun which was separated from the sun as a result of another huge star coming close to the sun. So in this paragraph, the writer tells us about the creation of our planetary system as well as about the creation of our Earth. Here are some important difficult words with their meanings which we have read in this paragraph. Take place means to happen, wandering means moving or rotating, blindly means uncontrollably, rays mean produce, tides mean waves, cause mean reason, and disturbance mean disorder or confusion. Now, here is the question from this paragraph which we have read. What happened when, according to Sir James Jeans, a wandering star wandering through space came near the sun? The answer is, definitely you should be able to answer this question after reading this paragraph. When a wandering star came near the sun, it raised tides on the surface of the sun. These tides formed a high mountain on the surface of the sun that we can hardly imagine. Next question is, what happened when the wandering star came nearer and nearer? When the wandering star came nearer and nearer the sun, the mountain on the surface of the sun rose higher and higher and was finally torn into pieces. And next question is, what are planets and how did they come into existence? Its answer is, the planets are the broken parts of the sun. They came into existence due to a tidal pull caused by some star on the surface of the sun. So, the students, that was all for today's lecture. We will continue reading the text in our next lectures. Till then, Allah Hafiz and goodbye.